Purmamarca is a town in the middle of the Andes Mountains in northern Argentina. It's famous for the hills of the seven colors, formed by the accumulation of sea, lake and river sediments. The town attracts thousands of tourists every year, but the pandemic changed it all. Women here are used to selling their textiles to make a living. Now, MARISEL CRUZ is struggling to pay her rent and is fighting eviction.
For now, I'm working here, but I have been asked to leave from this shop. I came to this town several years ago, and I'm trying to sell my textiles and sustain my 14-year-old daughter. It's become very difficult.
Most of the women producing textiles come from indigenous communities in the province of Jujuy. MARISEL says she learned the art of weaving from her grandmother. It takes about 6 days for a weaver like MARISEL to do this poncho. She could sell it for about $30. The problem is that there is no tourism these days because of the pandemic, and that's why weavers are trying to find alternative ways to sell their crafts. And that's how the Purmamarca Market website was born, a tool to sell handicrafts from the area around the world. Sergio Aramayo says the website is having an impact.
The pandemic is very difficult, with a full lockdown in place. We did a meeting a few days ago, and people are telling us that exporting things will make a difference. We have had requests from France and Switzerland, and hopefully we'll be able to sell a lot more.
Women from indigenous communities take their time to handcraft each item. The wool comes from the llamas and the sheeps. The colors come from onions, cabbage and dried insects.
Here we have our llamas and we have time to share the wool and work on it. We then have to dye it. It's all natural and made by us.
But people like Victorina CRUZ says she's still getting used to the new technology.
We're a bit afraid of the new technology because we're not ready. They want to tell us they will deposit the money in the bank, but I don't know whether they will do it. We're also afraid of hacking and all those things.
The pandemic is having an impact all across the country, but in remote regions it is forcing people to adapt and use technology to survive. Teresa, Al Jazeera, Jujuy, Argentina.